Hey Bookworms, you betcha it's another Sunday night reading and writing update. Today marks the conclusion of week 8 of writing one short story per week for the next 52 weeks. Today I published another continuation in the Alice and Georgiana sisterly writing short story? It's just a teeny tiny addition to that. But if you're interested, as always, you can head over to my website, thewriterwithacause.com, which I'll admit is my attempt at being clever with the movie Rebel Without a Cause. But that's up to you whether you think that's clever or not. As far as reading goes this week, it's one of those weeks where you just want to read everything, you know? Here's a visual aid, actually. Now, I did not read the entirety of all these books. I wish I could, but I'm not the Flash. I did read some of them, but most of them I just read excerpts from. Some of them are books of poetry, some of them are books of short stories, and one of them is a 1,600-page book, because, you know, why not? Forgive the same 3 chords, I'm almost done here. Now, if you're curious of some of my intra-week thoughts on some of these books, there should be on the screen somewhere, I think it's in a little title card thing, that links you right to those shorts, but you can also find them right in the description box below. Let's talk about some books. Here's a better look at what I've read this week. Okay, I want to start with Howl by Allen Ginsberg. This I did read in its entirety. It also has some other poems in it. I just wanted to read one of my favorite poems from this little collection called Song on page 50 of this paperback edition. Song. The weight of the world is love, under the burden of solitude, under the burden of dissatisfaction. The weight we carry is love. And then here's another part of this poem. But we carry the weight wearily, and so must rest in the arms of love at last, must rest in the arms of love. So this was written in 1954 in San Jose. So more on that in the future. Next, I read some of the stories in the Nick Adams story. This is by Ernest Hemingway, which is one I've been slow reading for the last couple of weeks now. And my goal in the next month or so is to reread this from start to finish. It's one that I read in college and just want to refresh my memory on. So, gotta love Ernest. Okay, Emerson. This is Emerson's prose and poetry, and I ventured deep into the recesses of this book in a section called From Journals and Notebooks, which I didn't know was in here, sadly, and read some of Emerson's early thoughts, and I actually made a video on that, which should be floating around here somewhere. And then I just scratched the surface of none other than War and Peace, and I was really excited about this edition because it's only $16.99 because it's a signature edition, but it has this really wicked cool art. So I think it's great. And here's what the print looks like inside. It's easy to read, you know, visually. I'm on page 28-29. And right now I'm just trying to learn all the names. I'm probably going to need to make a flow chart of all the connections, which this edition does make. Not a flow chart. It just gives you a list of everything, of all the people and their relations and marriages and whatnot. But so far I'm really liking it. I'm enjoying it. And then finally, I stole this from my dad's bookshelf called The Natural Speaker, the 7th edition. And this is in an attempt to become better at doing what I'm doing right now. So you can always improve skills, and that's what I'm doing with this. So those are really the things that I've been thinking about and reading about this week in an effort to aid in my becoming a better writer. If you're out there trying to become a better reader or writer too, maybe these will spark some interest for you as well. Yeah, that's all I got. Keep reading and writing.